Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for the announcement of the England squad. I think we've got some connection issues again, sadly, so we'll go with the split screen to begin with. There is the England Twitter that we are all waiting on for a 5 p.m. announcement on what the confirmed and final England squad is going to be. We are dropping from the provisional squad of 33 down to the confirmed squad of 26. We have been guessing all week, haven't we? And we are about to find out who our England Euro 2020. Yes, I know it's been played in 2021. We're about to find out who that squad is going to be. Stay with me for the next, however long it takes. We'll react to the squad being announced, and you can get your predictions in right now with just 9 minutes to go until the announcement. And then we will get our reactions in after that. I'll say what I normally say. Let me know if you can see me, hear me loudly, clearly, etc. I'll pop that up. Apologies if the picture isn't 100% clear. We may be having trouble with the StreamYard servers. That's normally the issue. So let's just keep that out of the chat, and you can message me privately if you have an issue with my face being a little bit blurry for hopefully not all of this stream, but hopefully it should fix itself up. As ever, please hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Where are we now? 16,800. And if you are an England fan and you're new to the channel, plenty of content going to be coming up over the next 4 or 5 weeks. The tournament starts next Friday, and having finished a championship season of damn hard work, we'll be straight into a tournament, of course. Now, what it did say across the ticker at the bottom there was the really only confirmed piece of news we have today is that Mason Greenwood will not be in the squad. He is, how did they word it? Recovering a long-term injury. So no decision to be made there. So when I say it's 33 down to 26, it's not really, it's 32 down to 26, because the Mason Greenwood issue was dealt with, I guess, this morning with that announcement, which came from Manchester United, I believe, first of all, rather than from England. Let's just remind ourselves who is in this 33 or 32 now, as we are saying, without Mason Greenwood. The 4 keepers there: Henderson, Johnston, Pickford, Ramsdale. The defenders: Trent, Chilwell, Cody, Godfrey, James, Maguire, Mings, Shaw, Stones, Trippier and Walker. Ben White as well. Midfielders, and this is the England Twitter's definition. Obviously, certain players will play further forward and certain won't, but they've gone for Bellingham, Henderson, Lingard, Mount, who I'd include in the other category, but there we go. What do I know? Phillips, Rice and Ward-Prowse. The attackers, quote, Calvert-Lewin, Foden, Grealish, Greenwood, Kane, Rashford, Saka, Sancho, Sterling, Watkins. Of course, Greenwood will not be there. That is the one confirmed bit of information we do have ahead of this announcement, which is now in 6 minutes' time. There is the England Twitter. We'll wait and we'll click update on that at 5 p.m. and hopefully have an idea. I have the England YouTube on here as well. We will hear from Gareth Southgate at 5:10 as to the justifications and the whys and wherefores of who he has and hasn't picked. And I've got Sky Sports News on here as well. We'll just see who gets there first. I'm sure the chat will be all over the news as it breaks. Anyway, that is the schedule. So 5 p.m. The squad is confirmed. I'm sure the England comms team will have all the lovely artwork for us, all ready to go for 5 p.m. Squad numbers, if anybody's too worried about that sort of thing. It may give an indication as to who the first 11 may be. Who knows? Some players like to carry their squad numbers from club through to England. Let's be honest, it'll probably tell us very, very little that we need to know. And then you can see there on the England YouTube, Gareth Southgate will be there at 5:10, and then he's going to do the main media press conference at 6 p.m. I'm sure we'll be well done by then. Let's have a look at some comments. Funny how Greenwood was unfit for under-21s, carried on playing for Man United, then was unfit for England. What else have we got here in the chat? Ramsdale surely has to miss out. He seems to be one of the most likely to not be picked. We don't need 4 goalkeepers going, do we? Anything else in here? Liam's put his 7 out there. Ramsdale, Trippier, Mings, Maguire, Greenwood, Lingard and Watkins. Let me just put up really, really quickly. This was my predicted 26 from a video yesterday. I went for Pickford, Henderson, Johnston. I went for Shaw, Chilwell, Walker, Trippier, James and Trent. I went for all 6 of the fullbacks. You can hear my reasoning on the video. I won't justify myself now. 4 centre-backs. I went for Stones, Maguire, Cody and Mings. Of course, James and Walker can also play centre-back in the worst case scenario. So can Jordan Henderson, I guess. Rice, Henderson, Phillips and Bellingham. Remember, we are waiting to hear how fit Henderson and Maguire are. Let's be honest, we're not going to find out today, are we? And the question is, even if they can start game number 2 or game number 3, even in the tournament. We had that with David Beckham, where was he going to come back in the 3rd group game in 2002? They will be selected. It would have to be a very, very bad diagnosis for either or both of them to not be in. But we will find out. So, yeah, I had Rice, Henderson, Phillips and Bellingham as my 4 sort of traditional midfielders. Attackers, Mount, Sterling, Rashford, Foden, Sancho and Grealish. And I had Kane, Calvert-Lewin and Watkins as my 3 strikers, really. Now, remember, we've only seen a couple of systems. For the longest time, Southgate played with the 3 at the back, didn't he, and the wing-backs, 2 holding midfielders. And this was before we seemed to have this slew of attacking midfielders, Mount, Sterling, Rashford, Foden, Sancho, Grealish, Lingard, Saka, etc. We did then see the back 4 come in a sort of 4-3-3 a couple of times. It strikes me those are the 2 systems that we're likely to see from Southgate in the Euros. We are 2 minutes away, by the way, from the announcement. I don't suspect we would see any other shapes. There was one game where Jack Grealish was tried as a number 10 with a 2 up top. That was not a game, I can't remember who the opponent was one of the easier either qualifying opponents or friendlies in the build-up. So I don't suspect we'll see that. Obviously, kind of cross between the 2 is the 3 at the back. What Chris Wilder played with Sheffield United, basically 2 midfielders, a 10 and a front 2. But it does seem to be we're either going to get a 4-3-3 with a double pivot or a back 3 wing backs, a double pivot, and then 2 wide forwards and a central striker. And let's be honest, that central striker will be Harry Kane. What is the time, anybody, and how close are we? How close are we going to get here? I think we are close to 5 o'clock. So let's go to the main screen and I'll press refresh on Twitter. Remember, for those people getting a bit emotional, oh, here we go. Your official Three Lions squad announcement. Can you all see that? No, you can't. There is a 1 minute 30-second video playing on the England Twitter that's just gone up 15 seconds ago. You can see there. We're not getting any names yet. Looks like some Wretch 3-2 music in there. We await the news. Sky have gone all yellow on their screen, so we're expecting any second the squad to be announced. That's the video playing over on the England Twitter right now, which has given us precious little information by the look of it. I'm sure if you're Wretch 3-2's agent or manager, you're enjoying all the publicity that he's going to be getting over there. We are not hearing anything quite yet on the squad. I was expecting Jim White to go soon on Sky there. You can see Darren Bent and Michael Dawson waiting and waiting there. I am going to head to the other page. That video has told us absolutely nothing. So I'm going to hit refresh again. Get in there in the chat if you know ahead of me. We are still waiting for the final news. Line up at the end of the video. Was it really? Let's see if I can get a pause on that. There it is. Yes, there it is. Right, let me full screen that. And if I switch over, there you go. Right. There is our England squad for Euro 2020. So, three keepers, Henderson, Johnston, Pickford, as expected, I think. Ramsdale misses out. The defenders, and we'll go through this in good detail. Trent is in, as we'd heard rumoured. Chilwell, Cody, James, Maguire is in, as we suspected. Mings, Shaw, Stones, Trippier, and Walker. Count the fullbacks. Trent, Chilwell, Reece James, Luke Shaw, Kieran Trippier, and Kyle Walker. All six of the fullbacks, I predicted that in my video, are in. In terms of the midfielders, Bellingham, Henderson, Mount, Phillips, and Declan Rice. Calvert-Lewin, Foden, Grealish, Kane, Rashford, Saka is in. There's the big surprise. There's always one. So Bukayo Saka is in. Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling. Let me just click a button. Who's missed out of the ones I went for? Grealish and Mount. Sancho. Sancho is in. Who's missed out, guys? Grealish is in. Foden, Sterling, Rashford. How many strikers in there? Calvert-Lewin and Kane. It's Ollie Watkins that has missed out. So, of the Southgate 7 that we were all trying to predict the last few days, let me see if I can do this off the top of my head. The 7 to miss out are Ramsdale, Godfrey, White, Ward-Prowse, Watkins, Lingard, and Greenwood. That is the Southgate 7. I got 6 out of 7. I thought that Watkins would be in, and it turns out that it's Saka who is in over Watkins. So Gareth Southgate has gone into this tournament with basically 2 strikers, as in Harry Kane and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, Marcus Rashford could play up top as well as a sort of third striker, I guess. Well, any number of those players could. I guess Sterling could play off a striker. But it does very, very much seem that we're definitely not going to get a front 2 in the tournament at any point. Get your reactions in there. I will try and type this out as we are talking, who the 7 players to miss out are, you can help me in the chat as I type and I talk at the same time. So 7 players missing out, and I got 6 of them in my video yesterday. The big surprise, or the surprise to me, whether you think it's a big surprise or not, Saka in, Watkins not in, only 2 strikers in there in that squad. 6 fullbacks, okay? They can play in varying other positions, but 6 fullbacks in, only 2 strikers in. Keep your comments coming in. Let me try and type out the 7 who have missed out. So Aaron Ramsdale, the Sheffield United goalkeeper, it's his first call-up. He misses out. Ben Godfrey and Ben White, they were all on their first call-ups and all, honestly, not likely to feature. James Ward-Prowse did feel like he was behind the other central midfielders. He misses out despite his excellent set play prowess that always gets brought up. Jesse Lingard, that had seemingly leaked earlier in the day. As well, Mason Greenwood was fully confirmed as not being in there. Ollie Watkins is the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. On the ticker now, the 7 players missing out: Ramsdale, Godfrey, White, Ward-Prowse, Lingard, Greenwood, and Watkins. Get your thoughts in the chat. There is the England squad. Henderson, Johnston, Pickford are the 3 keepers. Let's go fullbacks and then centre-backs. So fullbacks there: Trent, Reece James, Trippier, Walker, and Shaw. We counted 6, didn't we? Let me do that again. Trent, James, Shaw, Trippier, and Walker. Why am I only counting 5 now? Chilwell, beg your pardon. So there are the fullbacks. The centre-backs, obviously, Kyle Walker can play centre-back, so can Reece James. Maguire, Mings, Stones, and Cody are the 4 centre-backs. This all really looks like a 4-3-3 squad rather than the 3 at the back squad, doesn't it? With only the 2 sort of number 9s included and only 4 centre-backs. We did predict it would be like this, didn't we? So we'll see whether England go into the whole thing with a back 4 here. The midfielders: Bellingham, Henderson, Phillips, Rice. I'll include Mount in the sort of next row of players. Mount, Foden, Grealish, Rashford, Saka, Sancho, and Sterling, with Harry Kane and Dominic Calvert-Lewin as really the only 2 strikers in the squad. So the Southgate 7, one more time, missing out: Ramsdale, Godfrey, White, Ward-Prowse, Lingard, Greenwood, and Watkins. Early assumptions from me: we're playing a back 4 and we're playing a 4-3-3. Are my early assumptions, or maybe a 4-2-3-1. Who knows if he's got something up his sleeve. The other assumptions are that Henderson and Maguire are going to be ready for game 1, game 2 at the very, very latest, if not. And I suppose the big surprise, or the biggest surprise for me, Saka over Watkins. Right, let's go to your comments and we will get some chit-chat going here. Keep your comments coming in. William, happy Grealish is going. Yeah, it was all dependent on the injury. My other ear is going now. This is proper high-end stuff, isn't it? We are just about to hear from Gareth Southgate over on the England YouTube. Obviously, keep with us here, but we're about to hear from Southgate. We may get some answers as well. George, guess Sancho and Rashford can fill in up front in case of injury. Sterling as well, although in terms of your physicality, well, you tell me in the chat, how big is that gamble? Only Kane and Calvert-Lewin in there as real recognised number 9s. No Watkins, no Bamford, no Ings from Southgate. Just those 2 strikers. He's been very, very clear that we're blessed with fullbacks and we're blessed with inside forwards, wingers, number 10s, whatever you. And that's how he's chosen to pick the squad. That is the big makeup of the squad. Someone mentioned Saka, bringing in Saka, though, thinking of him as a wing-back. Well, even then, Caps Cow, he'd be third choice, wouldn't he? Because you'd still have Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell ahead of him. So if he is in there as a wing-back, you've also got Kieran Trippier who could play left wing-back as well. So I'm not entirely sure Saka is there as a wing-back, if I'm totally honest. And I think someone will correct me in the chat. I think we've only seen Saka at left wing-back for England once, haven't we? Certainly the games I've covered this season, I've only seen him once. James calling out there for Michael Keane. I'm just going to turn the volume up on my ear. We've got Adam Smith with Gareth Southgate over on the England YouTube right now. Yeah, Michael Keane behind Ben Godfrey and Ben White. Gareth Southgate is now, I don't know if this is a pre-record, is now chatting on the England YouTube. Obviously, stick with us here. Southgate's just talking about injuries in the 2 European finals. We know why he has delayed everything. QPR forever going to be relying on Kane. No surprise there. Just hope he stays injury-free. Absolutely. Nick wanted Lingard in. No, Jesse Lingard. Saka ahead, really, in terms of the sort of big gamble there. Keep your comments coming in. The 7 players missing out. Southgate just talking about the 2 friendlies. Austria tomorrow night, isn't it, at Borough, and then Romania on Sunday. Hopefully, yeah, goodness me. If the volume of Gareth Southgate's mic in this in this England video here is anything to go by, we're going to suck at the Euros because I can't hear a word he's saying. We'll go for your comments while they are sorting out the microphone there. Josh, why has he taken 6 fullbacks? He could have took at least 1 less because Saka can play wing back, etc., etc. I guess, Josh, he's not seeing them as 6 fullbacks. He's seeing Trippier as 1 either side. He's seeing Reece James as right centre back, wing back, right back. Reece James a star in central midfield for Wigan. Yes, I know it's Wigan, not the European Championships. Of course, he could have covered those positions, particularly Ben White, who's played in the Premier League as a central midfielder. So, look, he obviously fancies those players, and there's been some argument that Trent Alexander-Arnold would be seen as a right-sided midfielder, maybe as well, even further forward in a 4-3-3. But given what we've said, I do agree, though, with the point that it does seem overloaded, particularly with only 2 central strikers in there and only 4 real bespoke centre-backs. Does seem a little bit overloaded. Remember, we are talking about a 26-man squad as opposed to the normal 23. So it's more players than we would have had normally, even with the sort of standby list as well. The fact he kept Cody tells me he's playing 5 at the back. I'm not so sure. He's got the options there, hasn't he? Particularly Kyle Walker. He's very much liked at right centre back. I'm just listening in on Southgate at the moment. He's just talking about taking the chance on players. We'll see how, with what a straight bat he's using there, and whether we're actually going to learn anything at all about that. Any more comments? Keep your comments coming in. There's loads there. Will he stick with the back 3 like he did in the World Cup? I don't know. I really don't know. There was that move, wasn't there, in the qualifying towards the back 4. And look, those players, Grealish, Sancho, Sterling, etc., they're the ones that win you the Euros. Although some people argue that defences win you tournaments and strikers win you games, etc. But I guess the idea is, who did we have in 2018? Kane, Vardy. In terms of people playing off the front, it was still Lingard then. as well, wasn't it? So I guess there's more pressure on Southgate to get an extra attacker in there. Now, you can still do that with a 3 at the back, of course. We saw the sort of strategy with 3 at the back, the double pivot if it's Rice and Henderson or Phillips, Bellingham, whoever's, depends on Henderson's fitness, I guess, doesn't it? A lot. And then still trying to get those 3. He does love Mason Mount, though, doesn't he? I'm just not sure we'll see a bespoke number 10 in there for sure. John, I think with the 4 right backs, he's going 3 at the back with Walker being one of them. That would be very Russia 2018, wouldn't it? Keep your comments coming in. Thank God Phillips is in the 26. He was always going to be there. Interesting point. If Greenwood is indeed injured, I'm going to pull that one out, guys, and I'll watch back Southgate's interview there, and we will figure out what's happening. So we won't listen into anything he's saying now. What was the question? Sorry. Yeah, Greenwood. Look, if it is not just a cosmetic way of getting Greenwood out the squad, then perhaps. But then Bembo, why not Watkins? Because Greenwood obviously would have been in there as a striker. I know he plays sort of wide and comes inside for Manchester United, doesn't he? But Liam, other than one too many fullbacks, very good squad. Matt, bet we'll play 3-4-2-1. Yeah, that's the system that we're talking about. So, I mean, look, in a 3-4-2-1, let's just work with this for a second. You would assume he likes Pickford, maybe go for Henderson. Who knows? Let's just assume Pickford, then Maguire and Stones with Walker. Wing backs, well, Shaw or Chilwell, flip a coin there. And right wing back, I mean, he loves Trippier, but maybe after the Champions League final, you'd have Reece James ahead of him. Could, of course, use Walker at wing back. You double pivot, then Henderson with Rice, you would think. Maybe Henderson's not fit and we get Phillips and Rice. And then you're definitely having Harry Kane as the focal point, aren't you? And he seems to, if Southgate, he seems to love Mount, and we know he's used Sterling over and over again. And then we get into the debate of form versus players he trusts, players he's used before, essentially there. Jamie, hate to be pessimistic, but we just don't have the centre-backs, keeper or central midfield. Oh, there we go. Croatia will beat us again too. Never mind. Optimism abounds there. Alex, how on earth is Ward-Prowse not in this team? I honestly, shoot me down. I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. I think Henderson, if you're talking about pure central midfielders, and look, he's not going to play a flat 4-3-3 with 3 holders like Mick McCarthy used to at Ipswich. I think Henderson is in there on influence and reputation around the squad. Rice has been excellent. Phillips is a kind of playmaker, and Bellingham's been so good in the Champions League and stepping up for Dortmund. And I think the idea with Bellingham as well is he's going to be in the squad for the next 3-4 tournaments, and he's already a high-functioning footballer at Dortmund. So that's why I suspect Ward-Prowse is not there. And it doesn't feel like Russia, where everyone thought we were absolutely terrible. We had no chance. Let's get as many defenders in the first 11 as we can, be really good at set plays, rely on Harry Kane, and away we go. I think it's a little bit more now, particularly when you run through, and we've done it a million times, Foden, Grealish, Mount, Rashford, Sancho, Sterling, etc. I think there's more optimism and trust that we have possible players who can unlock teams in big games. It remains to be seen, doesn't it? Badger, Ward-Prowse shouldn't be in there. Great player, not good enough. Dave, St George's cross up already. It's coming home. There we go. Bit more optimistic than one of those messages we got. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. biggest surprise. Get your biggest surprises in the comments. What system do you think we're going to get? We seem in the chat to be kind of between a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3, whatever sort of way you want to describe it with the numbers. We seem to be looking at the two things we're certain on: one central striker, preferably Harry Kane. Please stay fit, Harry, and two holding midfielders, and then we'll see what's what around it. Let me know what you think in the chat. Lou, Lingard and Bamford are the two unluckiest to be missed out. Possibly on form. There's a reasonable argument with that. And again, we're hearing a lot on Ward-Prowse and set plays, essentially, aren't we? Cammy, in my opinion, Southgate has bottled the fullback debate. Pick them all. Just pick them all. Get them all in there. Remember, your 7 players, the Southgate 7, who are missing out are Ramsdale, Godfrey, White. Those 3 were in the squad for the first time. Ward-Prowse, Lingard, Greenwood, and Watkins. Jez, not taking Ward-Prowse or Trent, nullifying our set plays. You tell me in the chat, guys, who are your set play takers in that squad? Is Kieran Trippier still a starter? He's a good set play guy. Trent is a good set play guy as well, isn't he? Calvin Phillips, you would think, would be one. Foden, Rashford for shots, I guess, but maybe not crosses. Grealish. Let me know who your set play guys in there. Has Gareth Southgate, to Jez's point, has he taken all his good set play guys out of the squad? Are we going to be as reliant? We were all over the set plays in Russia, weren't we? Nat, positive about England. Let's put that one out. Get Harry Kane on corners. Trippier for set plays. Pop Smoke fan. Totally unbalanced squad. I think we're talking fullbacks, centre-backs and strikers in terms of the balance as well. James, you're not the first person to say that. Saka in because of Greenwood's injury. I just think if that's the case, it would have been Watkins instead of Greenwood, because Saka's not really a forward. So, yeah. What does Calvin Phillips offer over Ward-Prowse? He's just a better passer of the ball, I think. Ward-Prowse, obviously, a very good player. But in terms of that playmaker and recycling the ball, Phillips obviously very good. And Southgate wanted him in, waited for Leeds to go up, didn't he? And look, obviously, maybe I've got an implicit bias because Phillips is an ex-championship player. But in terms of moving that ball, Phillips, very, very good. Jimmy, this squad is good enough to go very far. Let's see if Southgate is good enough. Well, remember, he kind of did it. It feels like in England at the moment, we've got an England football manager and a prime minister that didn't actually want the job in the first place and kind of ended up there. So, yes. I won't read out the name. Too many letters. I think we'll go 4-3-3. Yeah, we have seen the 4-3-3 a few times. And the thing that's in my mind, we've only seen the 10 once. They tried Grealish once at number 10. And after Pep played Foden centrally the other night, and that was a miserable failure. Well, there's an interesting one as well. Let me know. Front left. Where are you on this, guys? Foden, Grealish, Sterling. Front left. And I'm sure there'll be other names coming up. Sterling not maybe in form to start the first game. And Foden's had such a great breakthrough season as well. And look, guys, after that Croatia semi against Russia, everyone was bringing up Modric and Rakitic as unlock the door players. And we now have Grealish and Foden as possible unlock the door players. So, yes. Will we be practicing what we preach? Everyone, look, I'm not suggesting Foden or Grealish are on Modric's level. Did he win the Ballon d'Or? Modric certainly was European Footballer of the Year, wasn't he? But for players who can unlock the door, if we're going to bemoan the lack of them, let's use them now we've got them, perhaps, would be an argument you will see. John's system depends on Maguire. If he's fit, it's 4 at the back. If not, then it's 3 at the back. if it is 3 at the back and Maguire's not fit, who's your back 3? If Maguire is not there, then if it's 3 at the back, it's Tyrone Mings as the left footer in the back 3. And then probably John Stones. Honestly, if Maguire's not fit, it'll probably be Connor Cody in the middle. Are you happy going into the tournament if Maguire doesn't make game number 1? If we do go back 3, it would likely be Cody, Mings, Stones. You could play Stones in the middle of the 3, but people don't tend to trust him there. And then Kyle Walker moved across. It really, really depends on Maguire and Henderson, doesn't it? I'm sure we'd all love the Manchester United captain and the Liverpool captain fit and in the starting 11. But if they're not, then they are not. What are you guys saying here in the chat? Drop Sterling, get Lingard in. That ship has sailed, Jake. No, Lingard, Grealish and Foden get my thumbs up. That's a great question, isn't it? If the squad had been the usual 23, who would have been the Southgate 3? Certainly one of the fullbacks, for sure, and probably one of those plethora. We're talking Foden, Grealish, Rashford, Saka, Sancho, Sterling. I suspect if it had been a 23-man squad immediately, maybe Kieran Trippier and Bukayo Saka probably. And again, I'm still quite surprised that we only have 2 central strikers in there. Keep your comments coming in. Let me know who your surprises. Who's definitely starting the first game? And don't answer Maguire or Henderson because you don't know how fit they are. There's a question for you in the chat. Who is definitely starting the first game? Who's in there as your definite starter? And remember, we still have some debate over Pickford versus Henderson, don't we? We think Johnston's. I suspect Stones is nailed on. And knowing Southgate, Kyle Walker's probably nailed on, but we don't know the system, do we? Henderson, we're unsure. So perhaps Declan Rice is nailed on. And of course, Harry Kane is nailed on. But how many is that? That first game, for me, looking through that, definite starters. I can't tell you the keeper. I think Stones, probably Walker, knowing Southgate. Given Henderson's issues, probably Rice and probably Kane. There you go. I've only come up with 4 there as definite starters. What does that say, guys? In my central midfield list, I've got Henderson, but we don't know he's fit. Then Rice, then Phillips, and then Bellingham probably is my feeling. And where are you standing on the left backs, guys? Where's your Chilwell versus Shaw? Chilwell's just won the Champions League. Shaw, very good, particularly that sort of second third of the season as well. Let's see what you guys are saying on your definite starters. Pickford, Phillips, Pickford, Kane. I mean, Kane's your home run, isn't he? He's fit and he's world class, isn't he? And golden boot yet again. Oh, that's a good point, actually, Cammy. Mount. Yeah, that's probably one I've missed out. Southgate loves Mount. And Mount's also just won the Champions League as well. So for all I'm sitting here, feel free to pick me up on it, saying that Trent and Henderson have won the Champions League. So have Chilwell, Mount, Reece James as well. So I can say that as well. Adam, Kane, Foden, Mount, Stones nailed on. Yeah, maybe the Stones one is one we should be honing in on because we're not sure on Maguire. We would think if it was a back 4, it would be Maguire left and Stones right. So maybe Stones is nailed on. Fair point. Pickford, Kelborn, Pickford, Walker, Stones. He's gone for Chilwell, Rice and Kane. Potter. I can't do his Alan Rickman. The late, great Alan Rickman. Pickford, Walker. He's at his whole team. Ming, Stone, Shaw, Phillips, Rice. He's going back 3 then. He's not interesting. What else are we saying? Henderson has to be keeper. Well, how many actual England gamers has Henderson played now? It's not all that many. although he's got a few fans here. Southgate loves Pickford, doesn't he? Both good with their feet, though, you would have to say. Pope struggled, didn't he, in that last friendly we saw Pope in. Looks like Jack Grealish is. I wonder if his microphone's working. Anyway, I've switched my earphones. Now, Pickford, Kane, Chilwell, Rice. Shouldn't we all know the first 11 by now? I suppose, David, he's a little bit unfortunate in terms of that Maguire and Henderson would have been definites and they've both been injured. But, yeah, it feels like we should know maybe 6 or 7 of them rather than only 4. But I think we would know 6 or 7 if Maguire and Henderson had finished the season. Goalkeeper one's an interesting one, isn't it? I remember 2010 where, who was it? It was Rob Green and David James, Paul Robinson. I'm trying to think. We had no clue who the keeper. I don't think even Capello had a clue who the first 11 was. Squad numbers announced. Should we have a look and see if we can learn any more? I will refresh my England Twitter and see if we've got the squad numbers there. Seem to be... well, there's a nice still. Will it stay on that? There we go. Right, I'll go split screen. So there are your England squad numbers. I don't know how much we can learn or not. How big can we get that? There we go. So, well, there you go. If you're asking about the keepers, Pickford's got the number 1 shirt. Whether we can read anything into that or not. Walker 2, Shaw 3, Rice 4, Stones 5, Maguire 6, Grealish 7. Call me old-fashioned, but I like a right-footer to be wearing number 7. I can't read that. Henderson 8, Kane 9, Sterling 10, Rashford 11, Trippier 12, Henderson 13, Phillips 14. Read into this what you will now. We're outside those first numbers. Mings 15, Cody 16, Sancho 17, Calvert-Lewin 18, Mount 19. I suspect he's still in the first 11, though, isn't he? Foden 20, Chilwell 21, Trent is 22, Johnston 23, James 24, Saka 25, Bellingham gets the 26. Maybe we can, maybe we can't read too much into those numbers, particularly the fact that Mount, Foden are 19 and 20. But looks like the old favourites have got the low numbers, don't they? Look, Walker at number 2. Stones, Maguire as well. Interesting, Grealish has got number 7. Trippier 12. Does that tell us he's on the bench? Who knows? Can we read anything into this whatsoever? Thank you for letting me know there. Do we think we'll have... Well, we'll put that to the chat. A breakout star. I would love it to be Mount, Foden or Grealish. Wouldn't it be great, guys, if it was an attacker? Anybody in the chat there, do we think we will have a breakout star at the tournament? Look, Phil Foden has won the Premier League. Mason Mount has won the Champions League. Jack Grealish has been excellent, but then injured in the Premier League. So, yes. Right. Let me know what you think in the chat. Keep the comments coming. Joaquin. Lovely name. 3-4-3 with Trent or Trippier as a wing-back. Reece James as a stopper. There we go. We kind of pegged Kyle Walker for that position, hadn't we, as the stopper. Keki, or we just say Mark there. 2 less midfielders, unlike the squad. It's just to accommodate all of the fullbacks. And, yeah, as well, I remember a time where it was, should we take 4 strikers or 5 strikers? Do you remember those debates? Should Jermaine Defoe go as a 5th striker? We've only got Kane and Calvert-Lewin. And yes, I understand Marcus Rashford could play high as a sort of number 9. Couldn't he? Sorry, let me adjust my shot there. Keep your comments coming in. What else are we saying in the chat? Will any of the Southgate 7 play tomorrow? Oh, are they still in the squad? That would be, well, I think he'd get a fair bit of stick if he did. But, yeah, we're not expecting Maguire or Henderson to be fit. So I don't know. Greenwood definitely wouldn't. I'm not sure my mind would be right to play if I just missed out for sure. Breakout could have been Lingard. I don't think we can class Lingard as a breakout player because he literally scored in the last World Cup. Mason Mount. Yeah, a lot of expectation on Mason Mount now. Obviously, I saw him many, many times play for Derby County. 2 seasons now at top level with Chelsea. And of course, he has now won the Champions League. He can wave his medals around as well, Mason Mount, to hush the doubters, let's just say. Terence, I think he's picking his team there. Let's pop it up there if the StreamYard's going to let me, which it's not for a second. Let me just click out. Oh, it is going to let me. There we go, Terence. I can read your team out. Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire. That's a back 3. Or is it? No, he's got Walker at fullback, I think. Sure. Henderson, Rice, Mount, Sterling, Sancho, Kane. Yeah, get your 11s in for me. There you go, Kelborn. 13 out of 16 of the squad numbers. I mean, look, I got 25 out of 26 of the squad. Did I? Yeah, I did. It was only Saka and Watkins I messed up on. But, hey, that was 33 down to 26. Grealish and Bellingham to shine if allowed on the pitch. Good point. You let me know how many games the Grealish and Bellingham start. I don't see them in the first games being in the 11. But remember in 98, Michael Owen was nowhere near the 11 in the first game for sure. And game number 2. And then the nation clamoured. And then he was the first name on the team sheet and, you know, had the moment of his career against Argentina. So, look, for sure, we can use the Michael Owen paradigm, can't we? For sure, someone can work their way in, whether it's Jack Grealish or Jude Bellingham. And remember, look, if Henderson's not fit and Rice gets injured 10 minutes into the first game, we'll be reliant on Bellingham and Phillips for sure. And James Ward-Prowse is going to be sitting at home kicking his heels. Can't get over only taking 2 strikers. Yeah. And there is that horror moment, even in the friendlies. Keep Harry Kane wrapped up in cotton wool for sure. I wonder, does Diaz make Stones look slightly better for City? He probably does. But let's be honest, good players do make other players look better. That's, you know, there'll be plenty of players in plenty of teams guilty of that going into the competition. For sure. John, quite a few will be selected tomorrow. Lingard already confirmed he will start. Okay, I stand corrected. So, yeah, maybe we're going to learn absolutely naff all tomorrow night in the friendly against Austria about the 11, and it'll all be reserves, which kind of begs the question, what's the point in having the friendlies there? Is that Stuart Downing on my TV on Sky? Looks like Jim White's calling in some favours there. Yeah, Southgate said Lingard. Okay, Lingard to start. Thank you guys for letting me know. Let's go into some more comments. We'll do another 10 minutes on this. So the headlines here, England squad down from 33 to 26. Really, it was down from 32 to 26 because we already knew earlier in the morning about Mason Greenwood. And for me, the big headlines, 6 fullbacks all selected. I did predict it would happen. And the other big one, Saka over Watkins. So in that squad, there are 6 fullbacks. There are only 4 centre-backs. And maybe more prescient, there are only 2 strikers. So I would categorise 8 wide orthodox wingers, inverted forwards, number 10s, supporting strikers, whatever the hell you want to call them, until we come up with an actual name for that type position. So those guys in the chat saying it's unbalanced. Yeah, possibly it is. Maybe you would prefer a nice 3 keepers and maybe then 4 fullbacks, 2 for each position, 5 or 6 centre-backs, 5 or 6 central midfielders, 5 or 6 wide players, and then 4 or 5 strikers. That's not what we've got. But let's be fair, that's not how the talent stacks out in terms of the England players. We've got very talented supporting strikers. And yeah, I suppose there's arguments for Ings and Bamford and Watkins as well. But really, compared to Sancho playing for Dortmund in the Champions League and Foden for Manchester City, Grealish, carrying Villa at times in the Premier League. Saka's the interesting one. You think, why not a striker in over there? But I think I have laboured that point. Trippier was 12 for England, and he started a right wing back. Well, there you go in terms of the squad numbers, meaning diddly squat. Josh, Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Rice, Mount, Foden, Grealish, Sancho. 4-2-3-1. We haven't seen it very often. However, a lot of people get very pedantic in terms of the difference between a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1, don't they? The difference can literally mean, is it Mason Mount here on the pitch or here on the pitch? Is he a number 8 or is he a number 10? So, often put your number 8, or let's be fair, it would probably be Mason Mount, won't it? If he's not going to really go all in on Jack Grealish. Is Mason Mount 10 metres this way or 10 metres that way? So we can get very pedantic in terms of a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3. What I do know is we're getting one central striker, Harry Kane, and we're getting 2 holders, Henderson and Rice, or Phillips and Rice, depending on Henderson's fitness. Keep your comments coming in. We are nearly 53 minutes in. We'll try and go the full hour. We are reacting to the England squad. We can finish with which round you think they will reach. We'll do that in a minute. Don't put them in just yet. Really, really quickly head over. Well, actually, let's plug me first. Please hit subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We've got 200 watching in the chat. Hit like right now. And if you haven't already, subscribe now for England coverage throughout the Euros. We will be all over it. I normally say, please leave your bias at the door, but come on, I'll go a little bit more gung-ho when it comes to England, and probably a lot of our wishes to see actually England win something in their lifetime. You would absolutely love to see it. We'll get the normal negativity. Look, there's only one team going to win the tournament. It's very easy to predict that England won't win the tournament. If you are going to predict that, tell me why and tell me who's going to win it. If you're, not going to go with England doing very well in this tournament. Look, I've seen plenty of tournaments since I've been alive. I've seen England get to the semi-final in the World Cup and lose on penalties. I've seen England get to the semi-final of the World Cup and lose in normal time. I've seen England get to the semi-finals of the Euros and lose on penalties as well. So we've come close in my lifetime. Never, ever got to that final. And you just wonder, really, really, you just wonder if they could just get into that final. England they've only been to the one final, haven't they? Which they won. You just wonder, could they get into a final? And then would we get lightning in a bottle? And it actually happened, the thing that we probably all really, really want to see. Please hit subscribe, ring the bell. I'm going to give one really, really quick plug. Really quick, stick with me. 20% off your order over at Cards Plug. Get yourself one of these bad boys. Get yourself a Bukayo Saka card. He's in the squad. Now, if you do, go in the secret entrance, cardplug.com/Bloom, and the discount code Bloom at checkout, 20% off your order. Well, let's do it then, guys. We've got 5 minutes to go. Which round are England going to get to? Which round are England going to get to? And if you're not predicting England to win the tournament, who wins the tournament? And if you're feeling really brave, and why? Who wins the tournament and why? Remember, we have the world champions, France, in this tournament. They won in Russia in 2018, didn't they? Beat Croatia in the final. And I suspect, do we get the swan song of the great Cristiano Ronaldo as well? Can he, at his venerable age, can he drag his nation to another major final? Gareth Southgate is now in front of the press for the press conference that is available on the England YouTube. Get your predictions in. We'll do a last 5 minutes. Ken, Heart says England win. Head says France and England get knocked out by Portugal in the last 16. Heart says semi. Head says round of 16. Quarterfinals and Italy to win. Quarterfinals and Portugal to win. There you go, Plucky. Go on, son. England will win. You love to see it. Quarters for England. Belgium. That'd be a first, wouldn't it? Who's actually won the Euros? I know the Dutch, one of the kind of also rans that they shouldn't do, but they also come in the same category as England and maybe Belgium as big nations who've never kind of won it, have they? Remember Greece won it in 2004, didn't they? Can you remember all the winners? I'm struggling to remember all the winners. Portugal, 2016. Was Spain still winning everything? 2008 and 2012. Yeah, they won three tournaments in a row, didn't they? The Spanish. Who won in 2004? That was when Rooney was really good, wasn't it? Who won the tournament? Can't remember. Italy? And then France won 2000 as well, didn't they? And Germany, 96. Denmark, 92. I'm doing well here. Holland, 88. Netherlands, whatever you want to call them. 84. Who won in 84? I don't remember. When did Panenka do his penalty? 76? Dear me, I can't remember. Anyway, round of 16. Scotland to win. Well, there we go. Quarters. Oh, not quarters again. I'd rather get knocked out in the use up our luck in another tour. I'd rather get knocked out in the group stage. Blooming quarters is the worst, isn't it? Out in round of 16, Portugal and France too good. Final winner. You love to see it. Finals, semis, win it. Come on. Come on. You absolutely love to see it. Italy won 2006 World Cup. Did he win the Euros? Who won the Euros in 2005? Greece. Yeah, of course they did. Yeah, we just mentioned that. France may cruise it. You love to see it. Greece. Thank you, guys. Yeah, do you remember that? What was his name? Karisteas, the forward. Greece absolutely S-housed it. They were amazing, weren't they? And it was that guy who played for Bolton. Giannakopoulos won it, didn't he? Unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes. Right. Guys, thank you, everybody, for joining me. The headlines, really, 6 fullbacks and Saka over Watkins, only 2 strikers in there. And the Southgate 7 were Ramsdale, Godfrey, White, Ward-Prowse, Lingard, Greenwood and Watkins. If you're watching after the fact, get your comments in. I've had my say, now you have yours. All of that good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. That is our reaction to the England squad. One more time. Here we go. Pickford, Walker, Shaw, Rice, Stones, Maguire, Grealish, Henderson, Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Trippier, Henderson, Phillips, Mings, Cody, Sancho, Calvert-Lewin, Mount, Foden, Chilwell, Trent, Johnston, my eyes need testing, James, Saka and Bellingham. That is your 33 down to 26. I would normally say, please leave your bias at the door, but why don't I just say, come on, England, for God's sake, in the words of Stevie Wonder, for once in your life, for once in my life. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Let me know if you want to shout out. We'll pop them all up in the outro. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. That is our reaction to the England squad announced. We'll be back tomorrow for what sounds like quite a dead rubber. England versus Austria up at Borough. And then through the tournament, we'll do it via polls as well. Every day we'll do a watch along on at least one game. We'll see how knackered I get. And my plan is, let me know what you think of this. We'll do a review show every morning through the tournament, reviewing the previous day. Bring it on. I never thought I'd say that after pretty much 18 straight months of football, but we had the lockdown. Didn't we? It's been great. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll put your shout outs in the outro. And it's a lovely big over and out from me. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.